Night of the Champions, Yarde, Benavidez. Are you a fan, Sonny, of the Mexican Monster?
I am.
I mean, I don't know why.
What gave it away?
Yeah. It suits you.
Thank you.
Movember and all that as well.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Arriba.
You look like you were struggling to keep that hat on then. It was sort of wobbling. You got big head.
Was it? No, I've got a little beard, I have. Yeah.
Beard, yeah.
I am a fan. He's fucking mustard. No shame on Yarde losing that fight. He's unbelievable. We're going to talk about, obviously, the performance that Yarde put in, but Benavidez is a boy, isn't he?
So the main event, as we've touched on, David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. It was for Anthony Yarde aiming to be third time lucky, but flipping heck, he was in with an absolute man possessed.
He's always like that though, isn't he? Benavidez. His speed on his punches, the warrior mentality he's got, and just he's frightening in there, and he's so powerful as well. He was always going one way. I feel like Anthony Yarde's game plan, I was kind of all right with it. It looked like he was just trying to box him. He didn't have any speed behind his punches, which was unusual. I ain't seen him like that before. But his game plan looked to be, I'll try and take him into the second half, and then I'll start a war with him. And I feel like it's probably not a bad game plan, because if he'd have started the war in the first round, it could have been game over.
It's funny though. I think you do it, you flip it. The last thing you want to be doing against someone like Benavidez is banking on Benavidez tiring or trying to land something. Like, I think your best strategy when you look at the record of Yarde is catching him and hurting him, and you've got more chance. Catching someone cold there's more chance of that happening than there is. I'd like to see that actually. Stats on knockouts. How many are early to how many are late in boxing? Yeah. Because when you get caught with that first shot, it's what's going on here? And Yarde's best chance for me was catching Benavidez cold.
Yeah, I just feel like, do you know what? And it's no disrespect to Yarde, because he's amazing. He's absolutely incredible. Great fighter. If he says he'll fight someone, he'll fight him. There's no bullshit about him, and that's the best thing that you can have in a boxer from a fan's point of view. With no disrespect to him, no version of Anthony Yarde could have beaten David Benavidez throughout his whole career. You put the very best Anthony Yarde in there, which what we're saying, that was maybe Kovalev or Turbiev. It don't beat David Benavidez. It is what it is. He's only had, like, funny enough, I think they had the same amount of amateur fights, but Benavidez started when he was like 16 or so, turning pro. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that, but he was somewhere around there, and he'd sort of laced it up since he was like 8 years old, big boxing family. So he done his time. Anthony Yarde started a lot later, and he come into it, and then he's had his few amateur fights, and then he's been thrown in the deep end under Frank and whatnot, and he's done brilliant. Yeah. But he didn't have that schooling of experience prior to turning pro, which David Benavidez would have got from his days and throughout his family. And that's ultimately why Benavidez is a couple of levels above him. Yeah. But no shame in it whatsoever. I thought he's just an animal.
He is an animal. He's got the correct nickname, any Mexican monster. He's just relentless. He's everything. We said this on the way up. Like he would be everything I wouldn't want to fight in an opponent. You know, someone who don't stop. Like, so we talk about this in commentary quite a lot. It's so important to be in control of the pace of a fight, because you regulate your breathing to your work. So when someone else is working at their pace and you're having to keep up with them, it's hard to catch your breathing, because you're fighting at pace you don't really want to be fighting at. And he instantly grabs the fight by the scruff of the neck. He gets busy, he gets working. He's a good body puncher. He's got good variation with his work, lovely jab, but he takes a great shot and he don't stop working. Yeah. And you just think to yourself, you taste and beat him.
The one caveat I got to Yarde's game plan is that I'm sure he wanted to take it into the second half of the fight, but he's never been a 12-round fighter. And in the 6th round, he sat on his stool and he said to Tunde, what round is it? And Tunde said, it's round 7 coming up now and whatnot. When you're asking that, you're fucked, aren't you? You know what I mean? You've already done your beans and whatnot, because he's wanting the fight to get near the end and finish and whatnot. So he's not a 12-round fighter, essentially, and that done him over as well. But, yeah, look, criticism-wise, he didn't have the pop in his punches. which we've seen in previous times, especially when he fought Kovalev and Beterbiev. He didn't have the same pop in this fight. I don't know why.
It was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. And it was a bit tippy-tappy.
Show it. Let's show some of the highlights of the fight. I agree with you. He just there was something. We've seen him do that pad work, haven't we? And it's worked for him, but he's sort of kind of brought that into the fight, and obviously didn't have any effect on Benavidez. I'm not too sure if he was trying to soften
get his
him
respect.
up with the little shots and then land a big shot. But
yeah, no, he needed his respect. He couldn't get it.
Yeah, I just, you got to give him so much props for getting in there with everyone. But you see here, he's just an absolute. He's in your physically so strong.
He don't look it though. He's got a body like me, but he's just an animal.
Look, he's at the right range there. Doesn't get too close. Doesn't smother his work. Always at arm's length. Look at the variation, head, body, and they're the shots you're talking about, Sonny, from Yarde. They're just not. He's not really turning the hip into the shot, is he?
And he was unraveling round after round. And we'll get to in a minute when he had him on the ropes and he threw 18 shots in a row.
Look at that. I mean, he's just again. Look at the range where he's at. He's just always there. So it's the referee there, right? The referee's got to jump in there.
Nah. Why?
Well,
Yard's got his hand.
That's what I'm saying. So you can't blame Benavidez, what I'm saying.
He's chipping away, wasn't he? It's what it is.
Just relentless. Absolutely relentless. And look, for me, Yarde, you don't hang about on the ropes. Like the counters that he's throwing aren't heavy enough to trouble Benavidez. So if that's that's your game plan to sort of play possum and then land a big shot, at least throw a big shot. If not, you've got to move back to the centre of the ring. Allow space behind you.
Yeah, look. The problem is, I mean, he did it when he was down there. But look, the problem is Anthony Yarde ain't had the fights leading up to this and ain't shown the performances leading up to this to make you think, he's got a decent chance in this fight. And that's been the biggest problem.
Would it have made a difference?
It could have made a bit of a difference. It genuinely could have. Like, he should have. I know he fought Lindenhofer, and Lindenhofer's a good fighter. He could have fought a Buatsi in that time. If he'd have beaten Buatsi comprehensively, we'd have all gone, okay, you're showing it for us. But he weren't good enough against Ralph Wilkins, who messaged me, by the way.
Oh.
Dirty, innit?
All in a day's work for him.
Just had the fights leading up to this to make you go, yeah, you got a good chance in there. Because it's been flat performance, okay performance, flat performance, blah, blah, blah. And it's just come to this point. And look, I'm just a fan looking on, and I don't mean any disrespect here. If I was Anthony Yarde, I'd have left Tunde quite a long time ago, really. I'd have left him probably after. I mean, you can forgive the Beterbiev fight because Beterbiev's a monster as well.
Yeah.
But after the Wilkins fight, I'd have looked at my camp there and gone, something needs to change here. There's too many flat performances and there's not enough graphs of improvement along the way for you to say, yes, this is still working. And again, it's no disrespect because like Jack Cattrall's just left Jamie Moore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've got to do what's right for you. And look how good Jack Cattrall looked in his last fight. So sometimes when you have that change of trainer, you have a shake-up, it just sparks a bit of life into you. And I think he should have done that. I think we've had too many performances now where it's not been good enough and something needs to change.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Obviously, there isn't enough loyalty at times in boxing.
But that is a great thing, loyalty in boxing.
Yeah,
amazing.
but you're right, what you're saying. You get one crack at this. Sometimes you need, more strings to your bow in order to be successful. We'll start with the loser first. What next for Yarde for you? Does he get a new coach and carry on, or is that the end?
I don't know if he does get a new coach because he's very loyal to Tunde, and that's wonderful. Like, I don't get me wrong, that's brilliant. But I think he should. Like, not that he's going to give a shit what I say, obviously, but I just think he should. I think he should go somewhere else and carry on. Ultimately, look, I think we're seeing the same Yarde that was fighting Kovalev all them years back, and I haven't seen this rise through the ranks and getting better and improvements and whatnot. So yes, back to what you're saying. I feel move trainer, go to someone else, get a new, fresh outlook. Just for the last few years, of your fight career, there's some fucking great fights out there still for you.
I could see him in
Callum
the
Smith,
States.
Buatsi. Yeah, you know what I mean? There's some great fights out
Yeah,
there.
domestically still.
Ben Whittaker,
Willie
Willie Hutchinson, Ezra Taylor.
He's a big name. He's a big name. You know,
Massive name.
his performances, although in defeat, you know, that one was a bit different, but he's still an handful, and yeah, he's a big name.
is.
I'll be intrigued. It'd be interesting to see if he does move coach. Like, for some reason, I just can see him going to the States, being in America, one of the coaches over there, and sort of rebuilding and coming back. I don't think he stops. Lots of controversy in a couple of points in the fight, but there was that one clip where Yarde's holding the hand of Benavidez, and Benavidez just goes to town, clumping him.
Yeah.
What's your take on it, Sonny?
I see a lot of people moaning about it, actually. Just watching it here.
You can't blame Benavidez. Look, you can see there, Yarde. It's the referee's job, Sonny. There.
Yard's locked his hand.
Yeah.
So I don't see anything wrong with it. If Yard didn't have his hand holding his arm in place, I don't think that would have happened. Because Benavidez knows the rules ultimately, you know what I mean? So
what are you going to do?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it.
Him. You're just not going to punch. You're just going to wait. I just don't understand what you're going to do. Look, he's holding him. Just get to work. It's the referee's job to jump in and stop the action.
Yard was trying to tie him up, but Benavidez is so quick that he couldn't tie him up in time to stop the punches coming. So, yeah, nothing wrong with it for me.
That's in real time as well. Look how quick the punches are raining in.
He did it in when he was on the floor, though.
Yeah, that
just
was the other
before.
one.
Just before, yeah. But he got a point deducted, so rules are rules. Done. Fine. But it was always going one way to fight, wasn't it?
But then what next for David Benavidez? I think teasing a fight with Zurdo Ramirez.
Yeah.
200 pounds cruiserweight division. Flipping,
Yeah.
what a fight. What? You put him in with anyone, whether it be Zurdo at cruiserweight, Bivol Beterbiev, sign me up for all of those.
Yeah. Fair play to him going up again to Zurdo. I purely think he's done that because it's already been announced. Okay.
Oh, all right. Is this breaking news, or has it come out the other day?
Golden Boy of the night of the fight put save the date.
Right. Okay.
Hasn't said the date, but
Save the date. We don't know what the fucking date is.
So yeah, there you go. I mean,
Yeah, good on him.
not hanging about like heavyweight for long, is he?
Well, Bivol and Beterbiev are going to be tied up, and they're probably going to go again. So he's thinking, well, I'll get something in the meantime, and I'll go up to cruiserweight and then become another weight class world champion. So he's brilliant. Zurdo, on the other hand, I'm out. I'm totally out.
Disgust on his face.
It's getting on my nerves. You've got Jai Opetaia there. He's standing there wearing a great big bow going, fight me. And he don't want no part of it. He's gone to Billum Smith and then he's gone to this. It's like, get in the bin, mate. Come on. Just say it out loud that you don't want to fight him. You know what I mean? I don't want to fight him either. I'm saying it out loud, though. But Ramirez, just say it. You don't want to fight him. It's plain as day, no?
Yeah, no, I know.
It's getting on my nerves.
Like, you talk about what you're in this game for. It's titles, recognition, and money, right? And Jai Opetaia for Zurdo is all of that.
And he's stalling Opetaia from going up to heavyweight because Opetaia wants that smoke. He wants to get that belt, and then he wants to go up to heavyweight. And, I mean, Opetaia's opponents recently have been a bit like, bloody hell, what again? But that's purely because people are not interested.
What a great position to be in, though, if you're Benavidez. You either hang about a light heavyweight, which is a stacked division, or you move up to cruiserweight, which is equally buzzing.
Right, as always, we're having the fans' opinions sent over to us in the form of voice notes. So please send them over, by the way, each and every week, because we're hoping to get to yourselves, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on the fight on the weekend before. But yes, Anthony Yarde and Benavidez this weekend. You all had some stern opinions, and we can listen to them now. Right, Leighton.
Fight Zurdo Ramirez, and I heard that, and I thought, what's happened to Jai Opetaia? Why is the division not being unified? One of the champions has 2 belts, the other champion has 1, and you've also got Badu Jack. You know, you've got Riyadh Season behind both of them. Why are they not ordering that fight tomorrow? Why the hell is David Benavidez, who's just, won a title at light heavyweight, now going to move up to cruiserweight? I get that the division's a bit stagnant because Bivol and Beterbiev have got a rematch at each other and whatever, but at the same time, you're moving up another 25 pounds. Why? Go fight other contenders at light heavyweight. And Zurdo Ramirez, for the love of God, go fight Jai Opetaia or vacate both the belts and retire.
You're speaking my language, Leighton.
Or retire.
Big time. What do you think?
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Like, if you're Zurdo and you want to be the kingpin, the boss of your
Yeah.
division, fight Opetaia.
I know.
Or what is the? I don't understand what the point is.
So-
Otherwise,
I give him Badu Jack a pass a little bit.
yeah.
I know he don't want to fight Opetaia as well, but I get it. He's been around a long time and whatnot. He don't get a full pass, but at the end of the day, he's been in the game a long time. He's on the way out. He's trying to get a couple of good paydays before he goes out. So that, like, you can almost forgive it. But Ramirez just don't want no part of it.
Do you think that is the case?
Yes.
Him as a fighter.
Yes.
Do you think he doesn't want to go near him?
Yes.
Mad, isn't it? Mad. Because he's a very good fighter.
He's very good, yeah.
Very good. I'd love to see him versus Opetaia. I equally want to see Benavidez versus Ramirez. So I'm buzzing that that's been.
At the end of the day, Ramirez went in there against Bivol. I know Bivol is like elite world class, but he lost that fight very handily. Didn't win a round almost. So he's probably looking at Opetaia and thinking, okay, you don't have the boxing sort of skill that Bivol has, but I know what you bring.
There's
And it's a lot.
similarities though. They're very good on their feet.
Yeah.
Throw nice long shots, very sharp, very accurate.
Mm.
So I probably could see that thinking, yeah, he's a more aggressive version of
Exactly,
Bivol.
yeah. And he hits like a mule kick. So yeah. I get it that you don't want to fight him, but
There he is,
Yeah.
Ring of Fire, 2 weeks to go, Opetaia. He's one of my...
he's my favourite.
He could be my favourite.
My number one.
He could be my number one, I love... He's just a badass, isn't he? I don't
Yeah, no, again, his opponent is, it's lackluster in terms of where he should be fighting right now. But I genuinely think nobody will fight him. I don't think anyone's interested. Look, love. Is that right? See, like, I love.
It's a bit like
Bill and Smith.
Canelo.
Anyway, look, Billum Smith as well. Love Billum Smith, but yes, didn't want to fight Opetaia. But I get it. I understand it. Right? And I'm not slagging off Billum Smith. I absolutely love him. He's brilliant. I'm just saying that he went the Ramirez route where he could have gone the Opetaia route. And also there was a clip the other day on TalkSport of Opetaia saying Billum Smith was asked to take this fight on the Conor Benn Eubank card. And he said, it's $500,000. You take... he said, Opetaia said, take the fucking mill. He said, you could take the money. I don't care. But again, it didn't materialise.
Very quick question, right? What's your pound for pound top three from the light heavyweight and cruiserweight division?
And cruiserweight. Oh, right. Pound for pound.
You'd probably have to go
Bivol number one.
You'd have to go Bivol one, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and then I'd go... I'd have to go Beterbiev. I'd have to. And then I'd go Opetaia or Benavidez. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
But yeah.
You're not putting
Right,
Zurdo.
let's do-
You're not putting Zurdo anywhere in there.
No, he can get in the bin. He's not on my Christmas card list, I'll tell you that. We have Clark, Superman.
Yes, big up, lads. My name's Clark. So my question to you is, what would you have done differently with Anthony Yarde's career? Because the way I see it, the Kovalev fight was a free hit. Nobody sort of knew what to expect because he'd not fought anyone, so he had nothing to lose. But then he lost. He could have rebuilt after that, but instead he just knocked over a few journeymen, went into the Beterbiev fight, lost, knocked over a few more journeymen, but didn't even look that impressive. And then he's gone into this Benavidez fight and he's been absolutely battered. It almost feels like a really disappointing career because I've been watching him for nearly 10 years. I couldn't tell you what level he's at, what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, good point. Look, first off, not everyone's going to be a world champion.
No.
Sometimes you're in a division that's stacked and you just, and no disrespect here, you're just not good enough. You come up against fighters that are just better than you. Again, we had Yarde on the pod, and something I didn't know, that he was offered the step aside money to fight Kovalev. I mean, and it was the same amount as the purse, I believe. I'm taking that all day long. So that's
No, yeah.
first thing that I do, because then you're still reinstated, I think, as the next in line to fight for the title anyway.
Yeah.
So I would have taken that, and who knows what would have happened and what would have panned out if a title would have become vacant. You just don't know. But that shows the fighting spirit of Anthony Yarde. But, the opportunities that he's taken, he wanted to prove to himself how good he was. He wanted to be the best, and he's fallen short. Not
But
everybody.
what about you in between us? The journeyman. It's journeyman elite. Journeyman elite. It's like, can you really have a career that way? Look, I've said that, and again, I'm a nobody. I know what I am. I've never been in the ring. I'm a complete mug.
You're
I'm just
Sonny
saying,
K,
as a trainer,
man of the people.
I think Yarde could have done better or learnt some new tricks with someone else if he'd have moved on. So I would have, if I was managing his career, however, his manager is Tunde and that's his trainer as well. So your managers are going to say, leave me. So, but anyway, look, if I was his manager on a separate note, I said, look, let's go somewhere else. Let's try this. And gone from there. And yeah, instead of, it was like, I say, it's journeyman elite, journeyman elite. He needed other fights in there, more domestic fights in there, fights that are going to test you. And then you would have seen from there if you can go on to the next level from there. But when you're fighting journeyman, you're bashing them up and then you're going into the next and whatnot. It's just not enough. But on the other hand, I will say that Tunde has managed his career. Amazing.
And who knows what he would have done if he didn't have Tunde? There's all saying that he needs a new trainer, maybe to push him on to the next level. Who knows where he would have gone if he didn't have Tunde?
Yeah,
no. Who knows?
Managerial-wise.
Obviously, he listened to him. He's got the best out of him. Could we get his record up? Could we get Anthony Yarde's record up on there? I want to have a look at these journeyman elect, as you would call them.
So he come out the Beterbiev fight, and then he had a journeyman.
So look, the Lyndon Arthur one, I mean, the trilogy made sense, I guess, although he stopped him in very good fashion in the rematch, didn't he, Yarde? So then they had the third fight, and I think Lyndon Arthur in that third fight performed well, didn't he? I think he surprised
that's
Anthony
okay,
Yarde.
yeah.
But, yeah, look, Kovalev, Beterbiev, incredible. Silva, what's that, 23 wins, 15 losses.
And then Nikolic.
Yeah, but look, good, decent record, 32
Yeah, but
wins.
we know what they are, Darren. We know, we can all
Bill
make a good
King at
record.
17-1. What?
He messaged me.
Oh, yeah,
He
it was.
messaged me, Bill, because I called him a journeyman, and he messaged me. He said, he was nicer if he just said, do you really think I'm a journeyman? Because I don't consider myself that. And I said to him, I don't think you're a journeyman, essentially. I think that ultimately, though, Anthony Yarde chose you as an opponent that he thought he was going to demolish. And because he didn't, in that respect, he underperformed. But yeah, he was sound about it. And he said, I'm going to do some good things in that. I said,
I don't mind that. Do you know what? I'm going to play devil's advocate. I look at that and I think there's 3 massive names there.
That's great.
Give the guy a break. Like, he's due, a comeback fight. Let's get a win under our belt, then we'll push on to another one. Like,
all right.
If he's winning them, then you say, you keep that caliber high. You can't beat a Beterbiev, then fight a Wilkins. Do you know what I mean? But if you've just lost, then think, give him.
Ain't that too far down? After Anthony Joshua lost to Usyk the second time, right? If he'd have then gone and fought, no disrespect to him, Tom Little, would you have been all right with that?
No, you're right. Yeah. Do you think that's nobody would forgive Anthony Joshua for doing that? Whereas Anthony Yarde, not the same name, doesn't have an Olympic gold medal to his name.
But yeah, he's just got to keep it the same.
Not former world champion either. He's lost at that world level. I look at that and I think, do you know what? Ain't bad at all. 3 big names.
Full props to the big names. Like 1,000,000%. He absolutely gets all the respect from everyone in the world for that. It's just, I just think the fights in between could have been better. And they could have helped his level improve. But it is what it is. Yeah, you're right. You said it at the start. Look, not everyone could be a world champion. Some people have got a level that they reach and they can't get beyond that and whatever. And that's fine. It's great. Doesn't matter. It's boxing. Big Bad Zach.
What's happening, Sonny? I hope you're well, mate. This is just a follow-on from your story. If Benavidez is to take the Ramirez fight next at cruiserweight, obviously it's a big gap, that's 11 kilo or something. I think maybe even 12. If hypothetically he beats Ramirez, which I think he will, surely he goes on to fight Jai Opetaia. I know he said it's going to be a one-off, but you'd expect him to want to be a 3-weight world champion. And I just wondered how you thought that fight goes.
Disgusting fight, isn't it?
Yeah, I prefer it that way round. I'd love Benavidez to step up, beat Zurdo, which I think's tough, by the way. I really rate Zurdo. I know you don't like him, but he's a good fight. We see it. Against Billam Smith, he showed, didn't he?
He's wicked.
He's levels. He really is a good fighter. But I would love Benavidez to beat Zurdo to then set up an Opetaia fight.
He'll take it. Benavidez will fight him.
Yeah, all day long. And you know Opetaia will fight anyone.
Yeah,
that fight is, I would say, is up there with one of the fights. If I could make any fight in world boxing, that would be right up there, you know. Benavidez, Opetaia. Oh,
Who wins then? So he's saying, because he thinks Opetaia will carry the... Yeah.
I think Opetaia
is too...
naturally bigger. And I'm a big fan of the footwork of Opetaia. It's so good. He's got a wide base, wide stance, and he darts in and out. He's got a nice spring in his step, and he wouldn't do what Yarde done there, leaning on the ropes, stand on the ropes. He'd be off, and if anything, he'd be trying to push Benavidez back. That fight is so good.
I think he would. Benavidez is all about pressure, and I think he would come unstuck there because I think Opetaia would carry the pressure better. Also, I think Opetaia matches him for speed, and just I think he's right. That extra weight, that natural extra weight, I think it's too much for Benavidez potentially. But my good God, do I want to see it? It's like porn.
Oh, it is boxing porn. It is. So let's fingers crossed.
Yes, please.
All the boxing gods align, the stars align, and it just happens.